Why didn't I think of that before?
We're going to go to Whitchurch Silk Mill today.
I don't know what kind of stretch you get for burning your partner and your kids, which may hold our fortunes.
I'm about to order our Crit Air sticker for when we travel in France.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. What's this?
That's my kit.
You what?
It's all my kit.
What do you mean all your kit?
It's all my kit. It's well, I kind of want a slot.
A slot?
I want a my own Talks kit.
No. There's only room for one kit.
What do you mean?
That's my kit.
What? Daz Talks kit?
Yeah. B Talks kit.
No, I was thinking B Talks.
Well, you do. You do. No one wants to hear that.
Yes, they do. Come
No.
on, please. Can I have a slot?
Let's get
Look,
serious.
I've got all this stuff.
There's only room for one slot on this channel, and this is starting to sound rude. It's my slot. Sorry, everyone. She's interrupted the intro. This
With all my
outburst,
stuff.
an outburst.
Everyone wants to know what this
Look,
stuff is.
It's my phone. Okay, this is my time.
Well, what if I take the phone?
You're not taking the phone.
I can take the
Don't
phone.
take the phone.
I'm taking
No.
the phone. Welcome to.
Let's go for the motorhome.
I'm going to show you this kit next week.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I'm going to have my own slots.
No.
Hi, I'm Daz and she's Bee. We've had our motorhome since June last year and have already had many adventures and made plenty of maverick mistakes on our travels.
Our dreams of owning a home in France were shattered after Brexit. Then we failed to move somewhere more rural after our house sale fell through in the UK.
We bought Stampy, our 10-year-old motorhome, in the hope that we can live a life less ordinary and explore the UK and Europe with our kids and our greyhound Sammy whenever we can.
Please join us as we try new things, make memories as we escape in the motorhome.
Hello and welcome back to our channel and welcome back to Stampy. We are driving to the South Downs. We've just gone through East Meon and we are on our way to a very interesting destination.
But I've picked this route in a very selfish way, and I've upset our new sat-nav system, which has been very kindly donated to us by one of our viewers, and it is working brilliantly, but it wanted us to go the motorway way, and I want to go this way through the South Downs because there's a chance that we're going to go by a little rock legend's house just up this road up here.
The South Downs is a popular destination for a few celebrities who have decided that city life is not for them.
That's it there.
Do you think it's there?
That's it.
Wow.
But these are the gates to a very famous rock and roll star's house.
Oh, wow.
Can we look through the kitchen window? It's worth 9 million.
Good grief. And nice gates there too. Same house.
Yeah.
So do you want to reveal to our lovely audience whose house that was?
It's one of the Gallagher brothers. Noel Gallagher.
So that's pretty cool, isn't it? That wasn't too far from our own house. So we do know that Tom Hardy doesn't live too far from us. And now Daz has discovered that Noel Gallagher lives not far from us either. Actually, we both really like Noel Gallagher's stuff that he's doing now. Daz just told me that Noel Gallagher likes cycling around these lanes as well. Just imagining him putting on his cycling shorts and having a little whiz around.
Dead.
No, I'm not imagining him in that way. A bit dangerous though on these single track lanes. Be careful, Noel. There's no cycle lane here. I hope he wears a helmet. So we're parked in somewhere round the back, but it's a good space for motorhomes because we saw one on Street View. Because unfortunately we won't fit into the car park.
Okay, so now before you tell me off, hear me out. In the 6 months or so that we've had Stampy, we've flushed the system just with clean water, but we haven't done a purification. And I looked up online, there's some products out there, but there's also some household products that you can mix with water to create a solution to clean your system. Now, one of those products, household products, is bleach. Except when I read the back of this morning, the hydrochloric acid and the rest of it and the warnings kind of put me right off. So I'm going to ignore that because I don't know what kind of stretch you get for burning your partner and your kids' insides out with bleach. So I've gone for a rather more conventional Pure Clean product from Halfords. And that looked massive in the picture. When I got there, it was tiny. But this does 90 litres, and I think we've got a 100 litre tank. So I'm going to use my old 25 litre jerry can to collect the water, mix it, shake it around, then pour it into our system, and then we're going to flush the whole system through, and then I'll probably have to repeat it with some clean water and flush that through, and at least then we'll feel a bit more confident about drinking from our tap. If you've got any tips out there about what you add, vinegar, lemon, or otherwise gin, then let us know. Oh, it's got that swimming pool kind of chlorine-y smell. Now apparently it's like a teaspoon per 5 litres, so with my, or 4.5 litres, so I've got a 25 litre tank, so I'm going to need, oh, that's not nice. And that costs £5. You can get it on Amazon, but you'll pay a little bit more because of the postage and fees. This is a little bit like making the boys a Nesquik. So my theory is 5 of these. And I've probably got about 5 litres of water in there, which I'll mix first and then top up with the rest later. Let's fill the rest up. Okay? So while that's filling up, I'll be rinsing out this nice 25 litre backup bottle, except it's really bulky and most of the time I just have air in it. So I think we might stick with our blue plastic one. But this, because I still haven't bought the extension for my blue food grade hose to go from here to the motorhome, my 10 metre one won't reach. What we can do is by clearing this out, I can make this a bit more useful at home. So, quick test. Oh my gosh. That weighs almost as much as Sammy. And we weighed Sammy today and he's 32 kilos. Let's go. Oh. There it is. Yeah. I have to say, filling up at home, I've been using this blue bag and doing like 15 trips to the tap. What, 4 of these should fill up this tank? And with the tap, I can just leave it. Why didn't I think of that before? Okay, so with my first 25 litres in, I'm now going to switch on the taps, or the pump, and prime all of the... We've only got 3, I think, shower head and 2 sinks. That's what they recommend anyway. Then, I've only got 3 more trips with that great big 25 litre jerry can, and we drain everything. And then I fill it all up again. So actually, that's 2 more of those trips, and then another 3 maybe with fresh water. Oi, oi, oi. Who needs a gym? Just thinking about it. Well, that's about as good as that's going to get. Maybe there's a little bit of air in the system. The shower, this is where I get my hand wet, no doubt. Ooh, feel the power. I have to say, I think £5 and a little bit of heavy lifting versus a little bit of dysentery and dropping morale in the ranks, it's probably worth it. I'm going to assume that's kind of normal. Right, let's go get some more water. Smells like a swimming pool in there. So you probably can't quite see there, but after nearly 3 of these 25 litres, it's looking pretty full. So I suspect there's a little bit of water in to start off with. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop at 3, maybe drive around the block and swish it around But before I get to the bottom, I remembered I've got to clean out Mr. Sac Bleu. So I'll do that next. Well, a couple of hours have passed, and on the box it says to leave it for between 1 and 12 hours. I think 2 hours is good enough because we haven't, it's not like we've left this in winter storage and we're picking it up, it's all green inside. So yeah, we were using this last week. So I think a couple of hours that'd be good enough. Time to run it all through and top it up with some fresh water. And as we're at home, I can let this go into my garden. So while Stampy gently wheezes all over my garden, I'm going to find something else to get on with.
We're going to go to Whitchurch Silk Mill today, and I was just reading about the process of silk creation or making in the motorhome on the way, and I knew it was a pretty interesting process. So you've got your little silkworms. So they spin a cocoon around themselves, and that cocoon is one single piece of silk, and it grows to about 1 metre. And then when it's all wrapped up, human beings intervene. So they're boiled, and then the silk cocoon is removed, and the whole metre is straightened out into one single strand, and then it's bleached, and all the sticky substance is removed, and then it can be dyed and then weaved into lots and lots of beautiful material. Sadly though, because this is made of a protein and it's made of an animal, it's not particularly vegan, particularly that process of boiling the worm.
The river test runs through the mill and in the past allowed the water wheel to do its work.
So we're just popping into Tesco because our free entry involves us buying a lottery scratch card. I think there are lots and lots of attractions across the country that are part of the National Lottery free entry. It's worthwhile looking at the website. Daz has never bought one before.
I bought the first one in the first ever lottery, which I think was some ridiculous thing like 20 years ago. But the lady in Tesco Express guided me towards this £2 ticket,
Okay,
which may hold our fortunes.
who knows? Let's see.
I'm about to order our Crit Air sticker for when we travel in France. So I'm going to do a walkthrough on my computer so you can see how I fill it in. You don't have to have a Crit Air sticker, but if you think you're going to travel through some big cities in France, it's a really good idea to get yourself sorted out. It's less than €5. It can be delivered in 10 days, and it just means it gives you that bit of security as you're driving round. Now, over the next few months, there's going to be more and more restrictions brought into towns such as Lyon, Marseille, Toulouse, and of course Paris. Those aren't the only cities, by the way, there are more. It's worth going to the website france.fr if you want a bit more information about the Crit Air stickers. But what you do need to know, there are 6 levels. One of them is for electric cars where you have no emissions, and then you've got grades 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 being the most polluting cars and 1 being the least polluting. I don't know what grade ours is going to be, but if we're grade 3, 4 or 5, then there'll be certain times where we will not be able to travel in certain cities. So it's definitely worth getting yourself sorted out so as you don't get any unnecessary fines whilst you're travelling in France. So when you're filling it out, you do need your V5 logbook, and you're going to need to have the chassis number because you have to fill that in under serial number, and of course you need the registration number, but you're going to need a scan or a photograph of that because you have to provide evidence that you are the registered keeper of the vehicle. The first thing you want to look out for is that official looking logo at the top of the screen. I'm not going to pronounce it because I'll pronounce it really badly, but it actually says this is the official website for the Crit Air sticker. Then you need to click on Vehicle Registered Abroad. You can see that white box on the right hand side. Click across to that one and it will take you to vehicles to be certified. So here we've got country of vehicle registration. Ours was in Ireland, but if yours is UK, find UK. Then you're going to put in your registration number, and then the date of your registration, the vehicle category, and if it's a motorhome, it's going to be M1. We have checked this and it is M1 if you've got fewer than 8 seats. Then your fuel type, and then we've got serial number. That is your VIN number or chassis number. You're going to find that on the second page of your V5 logbook. Then you've got the make of vehicle and the commercial description. So for make, we'll be putting in Fiat, and then commercial description is like the model. Now for Euro standard, it all depends what's in your V5 logbook. In our V5 logbook, we have no Euro standard, so we put in no Euro standard. And same thing for CO2, but it's worthwhile checking your V5 logbook in case you've got any extra information, but you can leave the CO2 blank. Then you're going to add proof, so you click on your add proof. Now you would have scanned your V5 logbook, the front page and maybe the second page as well, so we put it together as one PDF and scanned it and added that to our document. Then you're going to fill in your personal information, which is all very straightforward. You can pay by card or by PayPal, and then you get an opportunity to print the receipt as well as getting an email confirmation, which is a good idea because it's coming from France. Done and ordered, and hopefully we'll receive it in the post in the next couple of weeks. I'm no expert on this. I would advise you to go and look at various websites to make sure you've got the right information, but we just wanted to cover all bases to give us a bit of freedom to travel. But of course, whilst we're travelling in France, we will always make sure if we're going into a major city what the restrictions are, because certainly from July onwards there looks to be some more restrictions in certain bigger cities in France. Sadly, this wasn't a winning ticket, and after a bit of website checking to confirm that we did actually only need one scratch card for the family, we were finally allowed in, free of charge. Well, there are certainly worse places to hang out on a Saturday afternoon. We really enjoyed spotting the trout swimming against the current.
It does, it feels very shallow, doesn't it? They clear all these reeds to make it easier for the fish to go through as well, and for water flow. And those sluices are to control the height of the water.
The kids were happy in the gift shop, and then I spotted this theatre poster featuring Rosamund Pike wearing a silk dress woven at the mill. She's petrified me since the movie Gone Girl, so I exited quickly.
Did you read that it used to be a sawmill, and then after a couple of years it changed over to a silk mill?
Just reading that in the Victorian times the owner used to take a little dip in the Test every morning. Now that would have been a very chilly start to the day.
Oh, look at the size of that water wheel, it's astonishing.
Here's Daz doing a really good job of explaining how a weaving machine works and the difference between doing it manually and using a big industrial machine. Something to do with shuttlecocks and all sorts. I thought they were in badminton. Thankfully, Daz is the engineer of the family and could explain it far better than I ever could.
Sadly, I feel like it's not quite your size.
Not me.
No, it's really not you. I don't know what look we're going for here.
Why does this word always make me laugh? Clunch. Apparently this building is made of clunch. Two other facts that made me laugh. The expression cloth is working inside the mills because the volume inside was 90 decibels. So that probably you would struggle to hear. The expression spinning a yarn comes from when they're doing the spinning and they're telling stories inside the mill.
So I guess it comes across there, and that, where do you think what would have gone round that? And maybe another belt.
According to the legend, it was discovered by Zi Lingxi, a Chinese empress about 4,500 years ago. A silk moth cocoon fell from a mulberry tree onto her tea, which unravelled, revealing a silk thread. And they guarded the secret of silk for 3,000 years. Well, there we go. 1 whole metre of this beautiful thread made by one individual silkworm before he's killed. Okay, so it's before 1833. I think these two boys could be put to work, no lunch breaks, barely any pay, super noisy environment. That's okay, isn't it, boys? Yeah? Happy to work here? All hours that God sends, yeah? Yeah. But apparently the Factories Act that came in 1833 stopped all that and didn't allow children to work until age 16. I think that's just lazy. I am just joking. Gawping in amazement at these ropes here that are attached to the weights of the clock that's outside. It's basically a main feature of this beautiful mill, this Georgian structure, and apparently this is still ticking, and it has been since 1815. So that water wheel that we saw earlier is connected to this gear and connected to this gear. It can wind all of these bobbins. It can do it by the water mill, or it can do it by electric motor. I'm sure I just read that it can do 72 bobbins at one time. Daddy!
No, look, I just couldn't get my foot.
Daddy!
As well as this loom, there were loads and loads of interactive, hands-on resources which were perfect for our boys. I was really quite surprised at how much they had to offer. I assume they must have lots of school groups visiting.
Well, that's the end of our little escape for today, out to Whitchurch Silk Mill. We're not going to stay overnight because Indy's at home after his drum lessons and with Sammy, so we want to get back, unfortunately. But we're going to go and treat ourselves to something from the shop and a nice little cup of tea maybe in Stampy before we head back. I have to say, yes, we could have done this in a car, but the beauty of coming out in your motorhome is bringing that little slice of your own home with you. Come on, gang, let's go.
So after a really nice time at Whitchurch Silk Mill, I've worked out that's quite hard to say, the boys and Daz have gone off to the skate park and I'm chilling in Stampy.
Hello. After a little walk around the mill, and it is only a little mill, but it's very, very beautiful and there's lots to stop and read. This is very lovely. The boys have got this whole skate park to themselves, and just next door, and this is only a 5-minute walk from where Stampy is, and Stampy was only a 5-minute walk from the mill, there's a little BMX track too. Now just round the corner from here is the Bombay Sapphire Gin Distillery, which B and I visited just recently, and I highly recommend that too. And also round these parts, I think just to the north, is the famous Watership Down, which of course is the home to the famous story about the rabbit. Anyway, I'm collecting scooters and heading back to Stampy. Loonies. A nice little escape all in all, and I highly recommend you guys come and check it out if you're ever down this way.
Here they are, look at those, aren't they beautiful? So that is the longest residential thatch in Britain, reputedly. We visited the Bombay Sapphire Distillery, which is just out of the window here, a couple of days before Christmas, and we spotted going through Freefold a really, really beautiful line of thatched cottages, and they're actually a set of almshouses that were built for some people that were working on a paper mill back in the 1930s.
And Laverstoke Paper Mill, also straddling the River Test, actually produced banknotes for countries around the world, growing over 2 centuries to 40 buildings, which were eventually taken over by Bombay Sapphire Gin in 2010. What a fantastic escape we've had.
So, until our next escape.
Thanks for watching.
Woo!